Good morning, climbers from Adventure Rock, and anyone else who might be joining me this morning. Welcome to, get this adjusted. Welcome to functional exercises for climbers. What you're going to need today, you're going to need something that you can grab onto, whether it's a yoga block or a Frisbee, or a book, works great too. And then you're going to need something heavy for our last little round of exercises, something that you can hold above your head for about a minute, and then something else that you can, that's a little challenging for you to pull up from the floor. We're going to do a little row. That should be all that you need for today. Let's get started with a little bit of mobility. If you guys ever have any questions, go ahead and comment in the chats and I'll try and respond to you. Okay, so we're going to start off in a quadruped position. We're going to rock back and forth. Rock back to the child's pose. Get those hips between your feet. Drive those hips back hard. And you're going to rock back and forth left to right. Get a good stretch to the lat as you press those hands down to the floor. Try and keep that head pulled towards the ceiling, but your chin tucked at the same time. After you rock back a handful of times, you're going to rock forward onto your hands until your hips come between your hands. Into a little cobra. Rock side to side up in front here. Make sure that your shoulders are very active and driving your chest up high. So squeeze those shoulder blades together. So hold this position a little bit. Rock back into child's pose. Rock back and forth, side to side. Press those hands into the floor. Long, smooth, even breaths. Back forward into your cobra. Like I said, one thing you don't want is you don't want your shoulders shrugged. Drive those shoulders nice and strong. Hands get driven into the floor. Squeeze those shoulder blades together as you rock side to side. Back to child's. Next, we're going to get a real good stretch into that right lat by pressing that right hand to the floor and reaching with it a little extra. And then driving those shoulders to the right. Really press into the floor. Good activation through the bottom of the shoulder. We're going to do the same thing to the left side. Reach with that left hand, press it into the floor, and lean to your left. Rock forward to your quadruped position. Into your cobra. Knees can be on the floor for your cobra. Rocking side to side, forward and back a little bit. One more time in the child's pose. Reaching as far as you can now. Pressing those hands into the floor. Trying to drive that chest into the floor as well. As you drive those hips back. Now as you rock forward, back into cobra. I want you to do 5 shrugs. So let those shoulders shrug down and then drive your chest up high. Let those shoulders shrug and drive that chest up high. Into and out of and then back into good posture. Do 5 of them. 4, 5. It's great. Relax, shake it out a little bit. Get a sip of coffee if you want. Next, we're going to go into downward dog and then into upward dog. Upward dog is really similar to cobra, but you'll notice the difference is that our knees are not on the floor. So it's a little bit more engaging. We go back and forth, several times. So I'm going to start off in our quadruped position to start. We're going to lean forward to that cobra position. This time I want you to curl those toes up so that your big toe is pressed into the floor. And then we're going to straighten the knees and then pull those hips forward, shoulders engaged just like they were before. Let's try a few of those shoulder shrugs, 3 of them. Driving that chest up high, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Rock back into downward facing dog. We're going to draw that tailbone up high. Let those heels go towards the floor. Straighten the knees. Drive your shoulders back towards your toes. Go into a plank. Hold the plank briefly. Come to upward dog. Keep those kneecaps hard. Back to downward dog. Back to your plank. Upward dog. Step your right foot up into a mountain climber. And next, so your right foot's next to your right hand. Next, you're going to pick your hands up off the floor and come to a lunge. We're going to soften that left knee a little bit. Go up and down. Now, one thing we don't want is we don't want this right knee to go too far forward. We want to be kind of driving that front foot into the floor. Now drive that left heel into the ground. Let it come back up. Drive the left heel into the ground. Back up. I want you to reach your hands up in front of you. Reach as far forward as you can, giving a good stretch into your right hamstring. Drive those hands as far forward as you can. Hold it briefly. Take a deep breath and reach up as high as you can in that forward position. You get an arch in the low back. 3 deep breaths. Then you're going to bring your hands as if you're grabbing backpack straps in your shoulders. Keep driving into that front foot. Keep pulling that tailbone up high. And we're going to good morning. So as you pull that tailbone high, drop the entire torso flat so you get a good stretch in the hamstrings. We'll go 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to put our hands back on the floor. Step our right foot back. Go into upward facing dog. Keep those kneecaps hard. Downward facing dog. Upward dog. Hold your plank. Downward dog. Back to your plank. Do a push-up. Putting your left foot forward to your left hand. You have to creep it forward a little bit, that's fine. Take your hands off the floor, come to a lunge position. And turn for you so it's easier to see. Driving hard on that front foot to make sure that knee stays behind the foot. And we're going to come up on the rear toes, up on the right toes, and drive that heel towards the floor. Up on the right toes, drive the heels towards the floor. Up on the right toes. Drive the heels towards the floor. And again. Next, we're going to take our hands, we're going to reach up as far as you can. Get a good stretch into the front of that left hamstring. Keep reaching as far as you can. Extend that chest out and high. Take your hands, reach up high into the sky. Give an arch in your low back. Reach up even higher. Bring your hands to your shoulders as if you're grabbing backpack straps. Keep that tailbone lifted up high to keep that stretch to the hamstring as we do good mornings. Again, chest and torso go down as a single unit. Don't bend in the middle, bend in your hips. And lean forward to stretch the hamstring. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And reach those hands back down towards the floor. Nice and smooth and slow. Step that left foot back into your plank. Do a push-up. Into upward facing dog. Back down to the bottom of your push-up. And then push up to upward facing dog. We're going to hold downward facing dog for a little while. And when we do this, we're going to take our right foot off the floor. We're going to raise it high into the sky. We're going to go onto our left toes and drop the left heel. And then raise the left heel. We're going to do that 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. We're going to switch feet. Keep that tailbone high. Keep driving through those shoulders. Left foot high. Come up on your right toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to your plank. Do a push-up. And rest. It's great. Those moving through those plank type positions like the downward dog and upward dog and the push-up really give good stability through our shoulders and our core to help us in our climbing. Okay, so we're going to start working on some patterns that are crossbody patterns. Many times in climbing, in fact, most oftentimes in climbing, we're depending on an opposing hand and foot, so a left foot and a right hand perhaps, to move us up the wall. It is probably less often that we're on a right hand than a right foot. Not always, but so it's important to have both patterns of movement really well drawn in. So to drill that, we're going to start with a bird dog. Then we'll do some hip mobility. So the bird dog, hands are going to be underneath our shoulders. Knees are going to be under our hips. Toes can either be curled under or flat, your choice. You're going to start by picking up your right hand and left foot. Do not let your torso rotate. If this is very easy, you may lift those knees off the floor, but keep them an inch from the floor. Reach with that right hand and left foot. Try and press your heel and your palm against opposite walls. Push out as far as you can while keeping good core engagement to not let that back arch at all. Next, bring your right elbow and left knee together. And then reach out again. Reach out, try and touch opposite walls. Bring the knee and elbow together. Reach, touch, reach, touch, reach, touch, reach, touch, reach, touch, And on this last reach, we're going to hold it. Really flex those glutes, flex to the back of the shoulder, and set it down. Now we're going to do it on the other side. So left arm and right hand, or sorry, left arm and right leg. Reach with the left hand and the right foot. Press that right foot against the back wall. Press your hand against the wall in front of you. Nice and strong. Come back. Touch that knee and elbow together. Reach. Touch. Reach. Touch. Reach. Touch. Reach. Touch. Reach. Touch. Did you hold it? Pay attention to your core. Make sure there's no bend in that low back. And relax. All right. Now for some hip, potentially some ankle mobility. We're going to go from our crawling position. So we're in a crawling position that we were just in for a bird dog. I want you to step your left foot up next to your hand, and your right foot next to your right hand, and we'll drop those hips. This is called a prime squat. In our prime squat, we are working on driving our knees apart. So check out this knee. Excuse me. Check out this knee. I want that shin to be vertical. As I turn towards the front, I'm prying those knees apart with my elbows by pressing my hands together, and I'm rocking back and forth. And that rocking will drive different positions in my hip and my ankle. You can go as far as you feel comfortable, always making sure to pull those knees to the outside. Now, our elbows are giving a ton of support to our knees to make sure that they don't cave in into a bad position. Right now, I want you to take that support away and try and do it using your hip muscles. So pull those knees back with your butt and keep rocking back and forth. Really good activation. This is an incredibly important exercise for driving up into your next move when you have a real high foot. So a good base strength for that, and improves your range of motion to get that foot up high. Okay, next, you can grab either a book or a yoga block. You can also use a frisbee if you like. We're going to get into a half kneeling position, and half kneeling is going to be on one knee. When you kneel, have your whole weight stacked. We're going to kneel on our right knee. Have your whole weight stacked over that right knee, and that left foot in front of you. Core should be tight, and head should be nice and tall, so that if you were to lift that front foot off the floor, you wouldn't move. Takes a little practice to find that spot. Once you've got it, you've got it. Now we're going to do a little shoulder mobility. First, we're going to push whatever we're holding on to. We're going to push it together with flat palms. We're going to rotate to our right. Keep pushing together, rotating as far as you can to your right. Raise whatever you've got up into the sky. Pushing together, nice tight tension. Rotate to your left after you get your block below your head. Rotate to your left as far as you can. Keep pushing together. And lower those arms down to your waist. Keep pushing together. Raise those hands back above your head. About 3 seconds up. Rotate. 3 seconds down. Next, you're going to take whatever you're holding, your block, your book, whatever. Squeeze it hard and pull those hands apart. And we're going to go again. 3 seconds up. Pulling apart this time. Rotate to your left. 3 seconds down. Make a nice arc. Keep squeezing hard and pulling apart. 3 seconds up. Rotate. 3 seconds down. Excellent. Switch knees. Kneeling on the left knee now. I'm going to start to the side, left side. Pushing together, squeezing those hands together for good compression in the chest and in the lats. Drive, hands up high, over your head. Rotate to your right. Hands down, keep squeezing. This may make you shake a bit. That's great. Keep squeezing those hands together. Push, push, push. Drive up into the sky. 3 seconds up. Rotate and 3 seconds down. Okay, now squeeze as hard as you can. Rip those hands apart. 3 seconds up. Keep squeezing. Keep pulling apart as you rotate. Keep pulling apart as you go down. Back up. 3 seconds up. Rotate. 3 seconds down. Work, guys. All right. Next, we're going to learn basics of an army crawl. Learn this one over at Flex Cairo in Sherwood. It's a great, great exercise. And it also drives that opposing arm and leg pattern. Now, first thing I'm going to have you guys do is get on your backs. The army crawl is a crawl, so we will have our hands and knees on the floor. However, we're going to practice the movement pattern a little bit first. So, we're going to go on our backs. And we're going to have our knees up and as wide as they can go. So our knees are going to be stacked over our hips, but as wide as they can go. And feet are going to be apart as well, about equal distance to our knees. Hands are going to be as if you're doing a wide plank on the floor. So about halfway out to as wide as they'll go. Now what you're going to do is I want you to touch your left hand or your left elbow and your left knee together as you reach just a little bit with that right hand and right leg. Then you're going to switch back. So that right knee and elbow are touching each other as you're reaching with the left hand and foot. You're going to switch again. Reach with the right arm and right leg. Reach with the left arm, left leg. Switch. Now you should try to move all 4 limbs at the exact same time. Because when we get into this crawling pattern, which really makes you stronger at climbing, it will be very beneficial if you've got this pattern. Keep moving continuously right away. You've got this pattern on lockdown. Okay, we're going to flip over. Now, if you're on the carpet, I apologize. This might get a little rug burny. But that's okay. So we're going to start on our stomachs. And we're first going to learn to hold the plank in this position. So, right hands on the floor, right knees on the floor, all of our hands and feet on the floor. Right elbow and right knee are together. Left foot and left arm are extended. And I want you to, before you even push up into a plank, I want you to switch them. So extend your right arm and right leg as you bring your left elbow and knee together. And then we're going to switch back again. Oops. And then switch back again. Switch. Switch, so your left elbow and knee are together. Switch. Switch. Switch one more time. Okay, now with your right knee and elbow together and your left arm and left leg extended, I want you to press as hard as you can on your left forearm and your right forearm to get your chest up high, and then drive up hard, press on the right knee to lift your hips up off the floor. Turn so you can see me a little bit better. And if once your torso and your hips are off the floor, wave hello with your right hand. If you can take that right hand off the floor, you're pressing hard enough with those hips. Next, I want you to try and take a step forward, maybe, with that right hand. Come forward and then come back. If you couldn't figure it out, that's okay. We're going to set our chest back down on the floor. We're going to switch so that our left arm and left leg are together. And our right arm and right leg are extended. Press through the forearms to get your chest off the ground. Press through the left knee to get your hips off the ground. So now we're forming pressure between the left knee and right arm so we can wave hello with our left hand. If you want to, you can try moving forward, come back, and then rest. We're going to go through all four of those exercises again: the bird dog, the squat, the arc. We're going to come back to this arm crawl, and we're going to hold it in planks. All right, so bird dog. As you get into your quadruped position, we're going to reach, we're going to hold, and we're going to go take our right hand. We're reaching with our right hand and left leg. We're going to go out about an inch, down about an inch, in, and then up. So make a little square. Out, down, in, up. 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 And we're going to switch sides. Reach with the left hand and the right leg. Out, down, in, up. 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 And get back into a prime squat. This time, we're going to get into it from a stand. So, stand up tall, feet kind of wide, and we're going to squat down as low as you can. We're going to rock back and forth in that prime squat. Rock side to side, rock back and forth. Make sure you rock all your weight over that left foot until your heel wants to raise off the ground. But try and force that heel into the ground with your weight. Keep that chest up high as you do so, by the way. Now rock over that right foot until that heel wants to leave the ground. But drive that heel into the ground with your weight. Bounce over it a few times. We're going to rock back to the left, back to the right. Take your elbows out of it. Use the strength of your hips to keep those knees wide and over your toes. The prime squat is actually an excellent place for a campfire. You want it. You're really comfortable in here after a while. And if we can't get here, maybe get as close as you can and work on it. Okay. Grab your block or your book. We're starting our right knee for our prep, for our arc. Hands out in front of you, squeeze the block together, turn to your left side, pushing with those hands, flat palms. 3 seconds up, rotate, keep squeezing together. 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up. Rotate back to your left, 3 seconds down. Now squeeze and pull apart. 3 seconds up. Rotate, 3 seconds down. 3 seconds up. Rotate. 3 seconds down. On the left knee. Facing, stepping to the right. Here we go. Squeeze those arms together. Push, push, push. 3 seconds up. Rotate to the left. 3 seconds down. 3 seconds up. Keep squeezing. Straight arms. Rotate. 3 seconds down. Whoop, don't lose your balance. Squeeze. Rip it apart. 3 seconds up. Rotate. 3 seconds down. Back up. Rotate. 3 seconds down. Really great activation in the shoulders and core. Love it. Okay, back to the army crawl. We're going to find our opposing or contralateral pattern. We're going to pop up into a plank. We're going to take the opposite hand off the floor. We're going to wave, and we're going to switch. So, starting on your stomach. Left arm is reaching forward. Right knee and elbow are together. Left leg is back. Press through those forearms. Press through those knees. See if you can lift the right hand up. Wave. Come back down. Press back up. Wave. Come back down. Press back up. High. Wave. Come back down. Now we're going to switch. Left elbow and left knee are together. Reaching a little bit with that right hand, not too far. Reaching with that right leg. Drive your forearms into the floor to get your torso up high. Pulling back with those forearms to engage the shoulders. Raise your left hand off the ground. Wave hello. Back down. Press up high. Wave hello. Back down. Press up high. Wave hello. As you wave hello, try and raise that right leg off the ground a little bit. And set back down. Now, we're going to switch sides every time we do this. So, we're going to have our right knee and right elbow together. Press up high. See if you can raise your right arm and left leg off the ground together. Set them back down. Switch. Left arm and left leg together. Press up high. Press that left knee into the floor. Raise that left arm and left leg. If you come forward a little bit, that's great. It means you're ready to crawl. Switch again. Press up. Pick up the right hand and left leg all the way off the floor. Come back down. Switch. Press that right arm and left leg into the floor to lift the left arm and right leg. Set back down and rest. All right, good work, guys. We're going to move on to our last round of exercises. That army crawl does get into a move, and we're going to do that in our next round. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a single leg stance or split stance bent over row. We're going to get into that army crawl again. We're going to practice our Turkish Get-Ups. For those of you who joined me, I believe, last week and the week before, we worked on the steps of that, and we can go over it a little bit again. Then we're going to do a rolling plank. So, grab a weight that you're comfortable pulling from the floor. If you don't have a weight, you may use a milk jug, a backpack full of books, whatever you feel comfortable with. So let's actually start with a weight in our hand. We're going to start with in our left hand. We're going to start by stepping that left foot back just a little bit. That right knee can be soft, however soft it needs to be to not bend in your back or not bending in that low back. I'm going to step that left foot back. We're going to lean forward into a hinge just like we were with our good mornings earlier. You should match up your hands to make sure that your hands are starting at the exact same rate. We're going to pull that weight up, squeezing as if there's Velcro sticking our arm to our side. and then back down. Not rotating that torso at all. Do 5, not rotating. 2, 3, 4, 5. You can lift up as high as you want to, as long as that shoulder doesn't dive. And set the weight down. Switch sides. Stepping back with the right foot now. Left knee is soft. Hinging forward a little bit in the hips, not in the low back. Step those shoulders down back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Squeeze that weight and pull. 1, 2, as high as you want to without that shoulder diving. 3, 4, 5. Sit back down. Okay, let's practice that army crawl. This time in your army crawl, we're going to get moving. So, as you start in the opposite movement, we're going to reach, touch the ground, move again, and come back. 1, 2. So, give yourself enough room to make 2 movements forward. We're going to start left knee and left arm together, reaching with the right arm and right leg. Press up high, really engage those shoulders down and back. Press with the left knee and the right arm to lift. Reach forward with the right leg and left arm. Get your hips nice and wide. You should feel a nice stretch in those hips. And move again. Now we're going to move backwards. Push backwards. Raise that right hand and left leg off the ground. Scoot them back. And do it again. Press the right arm and left leg to scoot the left and right leg back. All right, we're going to do it again. Reaching forward with the left arm and right leg. Reaching forward with the right arm and left leg. Moving back now. 1, 2. All right, good work. We're going to do this one more time, except we're going to start with our right knee and right elbow together. All right, press up. Reach forward. 1, 2. And move backwards. 1, 2. Go forward. 1, 2. Backwards. 1, 2. All right, nice work. Do our Turkish Get-Up. All right, now we're going to do our Get-Up. If you don't have a weight that's comfortable to hold, you can use a shoe, or you can use a yoga block on your fist. Shoe or yoga block goes on the fist, not in the hand, because we want it to keep us honest to make sure that that arm is vertical. Comes off vertical, it's going to fall. So we're going to go 3 get-ups on our right side, 3 get-ups on our left side. We'll get into our rolling plank. All right, so we're going to start weight in the right hand, laying on our backs. Right knee is bent, left leg is out to the side, left arm is out to the side at about a 45. The weight's going to be above our head. Eyes always on your weight. Whatever's above your head, it weighs 1,000 pounds. You don't want it to fall. All right. Once you're in position, we're going to do 3 get-ups. Press that weight into the sky to get up onto your elbow. Press up onto your hand. Do a sit. Press those hips up high. Make your box. Step backwards. Keep those eyes high. Sit onto that back foot. Come to a lunge. And stand. Kneel back down into a lunge. Rotate that back foot. Run that left hand down your leg to reach out far. Kick out. Sit down. And lay back onto the ground nice and slow. And go again. Press up high. Up Hop onto your hand. Hips come up. Step back with that foot. Sit onto the foot you just swung. Come to a kneel. And stand. Lunge back. Rotate that back foot. Slide that hand down. Widen that base. Kick. Sit down. And back up one more time. All the way, nice and slow. Back down. Whew. All right, I'm going to go on the left side. 3 get-ups on the left side. Left knee is bent, right leg and right arm are out. Weights in the left hand. Harden with the core to get up. Drive up on the elbow. Right knee high onto your hand. To a sit. Drive on your feet to get those hips up high. Keep your eyes up on that weight. Bring your right foot underneath you and right knee underneath you. Get that weight on that right knee. Shift your butt onto your right heel. And then to a lunge. Rotate and come up. Lunge back. Rotate. Reach out. Kick. Sit. And slowly onto your back. 2 more. Up. Onto your elbow. Onto your hand. Pop the hips. Swing the leg. Come to a kneel. Stand. Rotate. Down. Kick. Hips down. Elbow. Back. One more time. Up. Onto your hand. Hips up. Swing. Sit. Kneel. Rotate it up. Kneel. Swing that foot. Hips down. And on the ground. Good work, guys. Good hard work. All right, next. We're going to get into our rolling plank. So we're getting into a plank. We're getting into a plank with our forearms on the floor, parallel like this. Not like a normal plank because we're going to rotate on that plank. So go ahead, get into your plank with your arms crossed in front of you, or your arms shouldn't be crossed. They should be parallel, but faced perpendicular to normal, and feet can be wider than a normal plank. Engage that butt, engage that core. Drive with that left fist, push that left fist into the floor to rotate. If you're feeling strong here, raise that right leg off the ground. Hold it briefly. Come back. Rotate. So chest is facing the floor again. Drive into that right fist. Keep a nice strong shoulder. Rotate onto the sides of your feet. Lift that left leg off the floor. Rotate back to square. Nice wide feet. Rotate to your left. Hold it. Rotate back to square. Rotate to your right. You can lift up the feet if you want. Rotate back to square. Drive the left fist into the ground to rotate. Come back to square. Drive the right fist into the floor. Couple more times each side. To the left side now. One thing to avoid is we don't want to lead with the hips. If you lead with the hips, it's very easy. To the right. If you drive with the shoulders and lead with the shoulder, it's very hard. Back to the left. The last time. And back to the right. And rest. We're going to go through those 4 exercises one more time. We're going to go back to this bent over row in that single leg split stance. If you feel real comfortable with a single leg deadlift, and this is easy for you, go ahead and go all the way so that your body is perpendicular to the floor in a single leg deadlift position. Otherwise, this bent over position is great. This bent over position is great for most people. You can come all the way to here or here, whichever position you like better. If you pick up that back foot, make sure that you're in a nice straight line as you start to row. All right, let's set. We're going to row 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step back down. Switch arms. Now get into your kickstand position. You can lean even farther over, or you can go all the way into a full single leg deadlift, your choice. And row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sit down and come up. Okay. Now, we're going to get into our army crawl. We're going to move nice and smooth. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 forward, 1, 2, 3 back. We're going to do that twice. We're going to switch the arm that we start on. Do it twice again. We got this. A little rug burning, but that's okay. All right. Starting right arm and right knee together. Left arm extended, left leg extended. Drive up high on those forearms. Press them into the floor. Press that right knee into the floor and go forward. 1, 2, 3. One confused motion. Go back. 2, 3. Forward. 1, 2, 3. Back. 1, 2, 3. All right. Good and hard. Make sure that core is engaged. Don't action that low back. Starting on with the left arm and left knee together. Reaching with the right leg and right arm. Drive up high. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Forward and back. 2, 3. Forward. 1, 2, 3. Back. 1, 2, 3. All right. Have a rest. You'll notice this is going to open up your hips. This is going to open up those shoulders. This is going to form really good compression between that opposite arm and leg. We're climbing hard boulders, hard sport climbs, and here on a corner, and building good patterns for moving back and forth on the wall. All right, back to that Turkish get-up. If you haven't had it perfected and it takes you a real long time to get one, that's okay. Do that. If this is very easy for you, there's ways that you can make it harder. We can do it in super slow motion. In fact, I would recommend starting with that if this is really easy. Or you can up the weight if it feels good. Okay, we're gonna start on the right side. We're gonna do one really slowly on the right side. So, weights up on our right side. Right knee is bent. Left leg is out to the side. Left arm is out to the side. Nice and wide base. I'm going to press that weight up high. We're going to do it as slow and smooth as we can. If you can't get up slow and smooth from this position, you can get through it a little bit, but it might be a good idea to practice it. Driving that weight up as high as we can. Eyes stay high. Press that left hand into the floor to get up a little higher into a sit. Scoot that left foot toward the left hand towards you a little bit. Drive those hips up, nice and smooth and slow. Hold this position. Pick your left foot up off the floor. Swing it behind you to make a nice box. Keep an eye on your weight. Sit those hips down on that left foot. Come up nice and slow. Swing that back foot. Get stable. Stand through a lunge. Lunge back nice and smooth. Eyes up. Rotate that back left leg. Slide that left hand down. Reach out. Pause. Kick with that left foot, nice and slow. Rotate. Keep those eyes up. Set the foot down and then the hips. Go down onto your left elbow. Keep that ribcage high. Crunch down to the floor, nice and slow. Set the weight down. We're going to repeat on the left side. Okay. Left arm is high. Left knee is bent. Right arm is out, right leg is out. Crunch up hard, pull up onto that elbow. Slow and smooth as you can. Press into that right hand onto the floor. Keep that arm engaged, keep those eyes high. Scoop that right hand towards you a little bit. Tension between your feet and that right hand. To lift those hips as high as you can into a bridge. Get that right foot up off the floor. Set it down into a box. Sit your hips down onto your foot. Come to a kneel. Swing that back foot. Get adjusted. Nice and smoothly stand up. That right foot steps back nice and far into a lunge. Swing that back foot. Reach that right hand up to the side. Keep those eyes up. Take your right foot out nice and slow. Set those hips down nice and controlled. Onto your elbow and onto your back. Good work. Like I said, there's lots of variations on the Turkish Getup to make it a little more challenging. Another one I like, but be very careful of your wrists in this position. Definitely go down a lot in weight as the bottom's up. Bottoms up is real good for building forearm and hand strength. However, a little tricky on the wrists. So start a lot lighter to make sure that you don't drop the weight. Okay, back to our rolling plank. Onto your forearms, up into your plank. Nice and strong, hard quads, hard butt, hard abs, hard shoulders. Push that left fist into the ground to rotate to the left side. Raise that right foot if you feel strong. Come back. Rotate to center. Drive up onto the right shoulder. On that right fist, raise the left foot off the ground if you feel strong. Step back wide, rotate nice and slow. Back to the left side now. Raise that right leg off the ground. Set it back down. Under the right arm, drive with that fist. Keep those shoulders engaged and strong. Left leg off the ground. And switch. Back to the left side. Right leg off the ground. And back to center. Switch, push with that right arm. Left leg comes off the ground. And as you switch back to that left shoulder, we're going to hold it here for a little bit. 10 deep breaths. Keep a nice solid plank. Don't look down and check, just harden up. Keep holding it. Back to center. The reason you don't check is because when you check and you look down, the whole body bends. Drive on that right fist, get onto the right side. We're going to hold it. Keep that core engaged. Don't look down and check because you'll bend. Keep that butt hard, legs hard. 7 more deep breaths. Keep it up, guys. No worries. You got this. Back to center. Knees down and relax. Rock back into a child's pose. Rock back and forth a little bit. Rock into a cobra. Good stretch through that low back, through that core. Back into a child's pose. Rock back and forth. Bring your hands up towards you. Push yourself up onto your feet, do a little prime squat. Stand up. That's all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys, ladies and gents, all enjoyed this functional exercise for climbers today. If you ever have any questions, feel free to shout out. Otherwise, meet me here Monday and Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. Thanks a bunch.